XERXIA is not an easy competitor, and again, it's a best of one. All of those improvements have to come out in just one game.
Jonathan, predictions, please. We know the viewers want to hear your predictions. Go on. Give us what you're predicting for the, those questions that are there.
Player deaths by 25, 16 to 25 sounds about right. Player with highest total physical damage done to heroes at game end. That should be Krish. Player who places the most observer rewards by 15. I would lean towards Mavis. He's been fairly on point with his warding. Player with the most D awards by 15. I would still probably lean towards Mavis. Although, yeah, no, yeah, Mavis. So, there you go. All probably wrong, but that's my bets.
Thank you very much for that, Jonathan. Get into game number 1. Ken, this is a best of 1 series, by the way, for anyone that wasn't aware. So, loser of this series is just out. They are out of the qualifiers in the first round. High stakes here for both these teams. You know, dreams are going to be ruined here tonight, Jonathan, or rather this morning. Now, TNC, what are you hanging around in that dire jungle? Bok with the spider web is going to be on the cliff, getting all this vision for his team.
Where are you going?
Lucifer going to spot him out. Meanwhile, Carlo has been spotted himself, but has the rebound, so we'll be fine. Though a night, well, it happens, John. It's a hard fish to land. It's not an easy one. You know, had he blocked them on the staircase, that could have been a double kill, but what can you do? It happens.
Doesn't quite come out. Still, they managed to get a D ward on the ramp at least from that movement out. So you are clearing out some control from TNC. Taking a look at that mid lane first. You do have JG on his Batrider, which we've seen him play to a pretty good degree. I think Batrider along with DK are his best mids, maybe a Pocket Timberstar here and there. Yoe on his signature Invoker. Again, shouldn't have the worst time, also shouldn't have the smoothest time, as JG can just kind of spam out. First 2 levels for the Invoker here. Don't feel the best. He does land the EMP to cut off some of that mana on JG to spam his spells. But JG, if he does kind of hit level 2 with all these stacks up, Yoe is going to be in a spot of trouble. Not too much counterplay, and the trades are starting to hurt. He does have the early wand ready, but you would still expect JG to have a bit of an easier time clearing out the creep wave here.
Yeah, it's JG should have the advantage going to this matchup. We'll see how it does pan out. We'll have a look at the side lanes as well. Of course, top lane Carlo's in trouble. Teehee gonna go for the chase, not allowing Carlo that free creep ball. In fact, Teehee, it feels like he might have a kill here. Carlo, at the very least, does have rebound available, so should be okay. But Teehee will not give up. One more click will do it for Carlo. He'll get within the tree line. He'll get within the fog and salve up. Bok now over to help him out. A pretty tough lane for the side of TNC at this top lane. Just having to go against that pos 5 inches is not going to be fun for either of these heroes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a double melee lane up against Enchantress and Slark. They've got a lot of trading potential here for XERXIA, and not much presence out from TNC until levels go up. Maybe by the time you hit level 3 or level 4 with Bok, having a couple more points in the Bolo or the Insatiable Hunger, you can trade a lot better. And once Carlot's level 3, would say a 1-1-1 build, value point in the sidekick, you can trade pretty good. But until then, Ken's getting a lot of space out just from the zoning coming through from Teehee. And if Ken is allowed to farm up fast into the power treads, maybe into the Echo Saber, you're going to feel really good on that Slark.
How about that bottom lane, John? Krish and Mavis going up against Lucifer and Rupido. Of course, Krish was dropping rather low on the TA, and we didn't get to see it, but Lucifer, he did try to go for a Fisher block by the tier 1 tower, and sadly got him on the wrong side, so they weren't able to try and secure Krish's life. It'll be just fine for now, but this bottom lane's proving to be rather difficult so far for TNC. To be fair, it is a TA versus a DP, so refraction's not really going to matter, and Krish, he hasn't even leveled up refraction yet, in fact. No points in it. In this bot lane, I doubt it gets much easier here for TNC. It does feel like Rupido should just be able to constantly dominate this lane on the DP.
Yeah, and he's still going to be able to find farm. At the same time, you're not really stopping Krish. You're trading with him, you're dropping his HP, but he's got an Omni Knight around. So you're always going to have at least a little bit of healing from the Heavenly Grace. Down the line, you've got Purification as well. You should be able to just farm up, especially if the Fissure doesn't quite land the way you want it to on Lucifer. And once Krish does hit something like level 4, level 5, with more points in refraction, it does feel safer, although...
Bottom lane, Krish, he's gone. Lucifer this time around gets the block, puts the high 5 up. Obviously, he's not going to get much of a high 5 back here, but he'll be a happy man with that block, and Well, of course, our DP going to be even happier picking up first blood against the position 1 TA of TNC Predator.
It's ramping up. Mavis just a little bit further away than he should have been. He has to stay right by Krish for this lane to be playable for RTA every single time he's exposed. Doesn't take too long for Rupido and Lucifer to kind of melt him. Still a lot of movement down mid right now, as we do see two supports just kind of walking by. Carlo along with Teehee coming in for the 4-minute water rune, and it looks like JG's just gonna have no problem. It's not a high priority for Yoe. Still gonna grab it up anyway, and you can see this lane's going a little bit more even than you'd expect. Yoe's actually matching the CS of JG, which is good news for the Invoker. He hasn't been harassed out. He's been getting a lot of value out from the Magic Wand. And JG kind of pocketing his levels. Does have a level 3 Napalm up, leaving the Flamebreak and Firefly free.
Lucifer is going to barely survive. That was a rotation from Carlo that just hasn't panned out, and Rupido lets him know about it as well. 3 heroes down bot. Does not pan out to a kill on an Earthshaker. Generally pretty bad news. Problem is you can't really follow up with the Marcy in this bot lane. Like, you've got a +5 Omni Knight. He has no stun. TA has no stun. So chances are you aren't going to be able to kill anyone down at this bot lane, and sadly for TNC, the rotation of Carlo just amounts to nothing.
Yeah, and that's really
Meanwhile, top lane.
Aggressive.
Yeah, there is Bok. He's been slowed up with the enchant. He's gone. Ken, he'll happily take the kill on the Slark, and that'll be his first point in permanent agi handed over.
Yeah, they see that opportunity. They know the spider is all alone. Just melt her down. And for TNC, their early laning just doesn't feel great. You are still finding farm, but you are lagging behind on Krish. Bok is also severely behind. The only lane that's going well is Yoes. You've got this lack of control from your lineup. Outside of the Invoker following through from Marcy, you really have nothing to keep heroes down. So the aggression is going to be piling more from XERXIA for sure. And with this kind of slower start for Bok, you do worry about the timings of the Broodmother. We've seen this countless times before where the Broodmother is off to a pretty bad lane, or at least a very uneven lane, and that does delay the early spike. It means you might not have that much presence to just spawn spiders and keep running around. Clumping up mid again, though.
Here we go. Yoe. Oh, that's a great block, Yoe. He's trapped up. It won't matter, though. They don't want to go for the dive in. In fact, JG now is the one to back. In comes Teehee with the Hurricane, though, onto Carlo. Very nice little play from the Ench, but can they stop Carlo from running? No, they... Oh, yes, they can. Teehee able to secure the kill on the Ench. Such a cheeky little block there from our Earthshaker as well. Yoe is going to be just fine at the very least, though they find Carlo.
Yeah, they have to sacrifice on TNC's end. You're still pretty happy that the lasso doesn't come out onto Yoe. That was an excellent block coming through.
Oh, Bok.
Would have been a guaranteed kill.
Oh, Hurricane off the mark that time around. Bok gonna try to run. It won't matter. He's down. Carlo, Carlo, you've got to run, so that is not safe. Fish is there. He's gone. Oh, no.
Don't be mad.
Yeah, they're feeling it now. This is a really, really bad start for TNC Predator. 3 perma agi on the Slark, 7 minutes into the game, and he's got 3 kills already, plus complete free farm. Yeah, John, I've seen this story in my pubs. This is not good news.
Yeah, this is very, very bad news for TNC. None of their lanes were really shaping up. Again, the best lane they had was Yoes, which is kind of nullified now, with how much emphasis has been put down mid. They've kind of killed off Bok's early timings here as well. The Broodmother really needs to secure space.
Run, Bok. It's a very tough lane, John. They can't really lane this anymore.
Yeah, it's not something they can hold. They're going to have to surrender an early tier 1. Pop the early fortify, it will refresh, but XERXIA off with the aggression. Off with a really good start. The best thing TNC can hope for now is just buy space for Yoe. Buy space for Krish. They are rotating back. Yoe up top.
Jump in.
risky.
Rebound is there from Carlo. Ken, he's just going to move right back in. Rebound's gone. They know they can take him out, and they do. I don't see why you make that jump. I'll be frank. Firefly now pop. JG wants the spider, and he's going to burn him right alive. Bok, he'll try to run. Oh, there's no mana for lasso, but it may not matter. Bok's gone. Lasso out now. They have the mana this time onto the... Oh, this is a disaster. Oh, God. Oh, no. Ken's got 6 perma agi, 8 minutes in. Oh, John, there's no way to sugarcoat this. This is bad. This is real bad.
This is terrible. I don't think the stacks in the Slurk is really the issue. It's that you're losing everything. Like, Krish dies solo down bot. The TA's farm is not lining up the way you want it to. The early presence from Yoa isn't really felt. He doesn't have anything like an urn. He's going for the Witchblade build-up, which is nice, but he's been trying to get aggressive across the map. If he did opt for the urn instead, he might have had it by now. He might have had a little bit more room to be aggressive. They need to be able to punish this move. Look at the vision out from XERXIA. They will catch out Teehee.
Yeah, well, at least they get that. Teehee's gone. Yo, he's happy about that one. Maybe a bit early for voice lines for TNC, but I mean, I suppose you've got to get the momentum going somehow. Top lane.
Yeah, definitely do.
Box got no momentum right now, John. He'll try to run, but Lucifer is going to cut him off. No mana for the Fisher for Lucifer, and Ken, he's not going to waste his time. He'll back off, get back to farming on that Slark. Another huge problem as well for TNC is the fact that our boy Rupido, Johnny, he's free farming on the Death Prop. Almost level 8 now, just chipping away at that bottom tier 1 tower. He's going to be his own form of a carry, you know, on this DP. It's not going to be easy to deal with these two.
He's going to have his early timings out. Number 1 in net worth, going for the Ewelts first. Has a lot of protection. Already has the urn to help melt through Krish's refraction, which Alkali doesn't really have a good time in that lane. Teehee with a rotation again.
Here we go. Teehee, he might drop another time, and he will. Krish, he'll pick up the kill on the TA. You know, I'd usually say these kills don't matter too much because it's a +5 inch, but they certainly matter right now for TNC. You need everything you can get with this kind of start.
Yeah, they're finding some punishment. It's not from the big heroes, but they are getting some gold to Yoa, to Krish, and that is very necessary gold for them to play with. A little bit of a smoke out from Yoa and Carlo. Gonna try to look for an opening down bot. They need to punish Rupido, but he's got Lucifer around to cut this off as well.
See what happens. Yoe gonna make his way in. Trap is pop. Rupido gonna be just fine. Gives the voice line immediately. I'll be frank, even if they got the dispose, I don't think Rupido's dying there. I think he was perfectly fine no matter what. Has the X as a backup as well, so guess what, John? It's time for that bottom tier 1 tower to go down, and they've got the siege creep ready for it.
Yeah, they're ready. They've got everyone around as well. They bring in Teehee once more. They still have Lucifer hanging around. Shouldn't take too long to melt that next outer tower. Inside of TNC, just opts the farm elsewhere. Saw Krish just kind of TP away. Playing in the triangle, clearing out the large camp. This is still under vision. They take out one ward, but they don't spot the other. So XERXIA still has a very good idea as to where Krish, where the rest of TNC is kind of trying to build up some farm. And should allow them to kind of punish down the line. Bot tier 1 not going to take too long to push in. They don't even need the exorcism here from Rupido with the siege creep and the enchanted creep up. They'll just find another freebie, and TNC is losing map control fast. This is really not what you want to see when you've got this Broodmother. Like, it should be Bok who's forcing in towers, forcing in movement, cutting off areas of the map for XERXIA to farm in, but he's just not able to do so with such a slow start. He's still trying to work the lane, still trying to build up more than just the Arcane plus Soul Ring. He has some room to push in top, but
mid lane, they're going to try and get something done. Lasso is there. JG, has he gone too far? It does seem like he has. Lucifer, he's going to try for an Echo Slam. It's not going to do the damage he wants. Still, Carlo is at least going to drop on the Marcy. They'll find something. Still a pretty decent pick-off for TNC, finding the mid-Bat Rider. Again, this is exactly what TNC needs. You got to find these positive trades and slowly chip your way back into this game.
yeah, they're getting some action done. Yoe?
Yoe, yeah, that's deep. Yoe's going to drop. Lucifer going to be fine to back off. And yeah, the tips are out. Mavis, well, he's not very safe here, John. Bye-bye, Mavis.
I don't understand. He grabs the haste, he runs towards back mid, and just gets caught off by Rupido, gets punished hard. And in the last fight, it was all down to really good positioning for Mavis. He was in the right spot, he waited for the lasso first before using the Heavenly Grace, got the dispel, kind of gave them that opportunity to punish. Now, put EXO up, mid tier 1 faults, all tier 1 towers gone for TNC. XERXIA up with a 4k lead, 4-12. Everything they could possibly ask for. Pings coming out onto Krish. He only has a Dragonlance up. does have a TP ready, so should be able to bail out in time. And yeah, Lucify not around for the Fisher. At the least, they saved themselves. But this is a lot of map space to lose. Bach has gotten room up top to clear the tier 1. It's still not enough to compensate for how much more XERXIA has. I mean, they've just invaded this bot jungle, and there's nothing TNC can do about it.
Yeah, it's a tough one, that's for sure. TNC, I mean, 3k behind now. Top lane, Bok, he's going to cop a pounce on the Broodmother, but should be just fine to back his way out. Looks like he's trying to work either onto an Ags or onto that Wraith Pact. See what he does want. Oh, the Broodmother, again, you kind of pointed this out a couple times here, John, but just hasn't had the impact yet that you're kind of looking for. Still TNC. Again, still pretty early. Not out of this game in any way, shape, or form. Just a very tough position for themselves. Now 4k behind. The real concern is, like, in the middle of these team fights, who are you going to focus? Because Rupido is just out-farming everyone. The Slark's having complete free farm as well. That Ken's going to go towards an Aghanim Scepter himself on the Slark, so you're going to have the crazy pounce and 2 charges. That's always scary to play against, especially for the Broodmother, who tries to juke out a lot in these team fights. I don't know. It's not going to be easy once that Axe is up on Ken, that's for sure.
No, it doesn't get any simpler. And their lack of lockdown is really going to be the big issue with just how mobile Ken is going to be in the middle of these fights. And you're really going to have to depend on Yoet to follow through from Carlo's jump. Like, there has to be some follow-up for that Morsi, because that is your only initiation, and the Invoker has to provide that follow-through. Or maybe, say, down the line, an Orc can build up on Bach could be one way, but he is going for the Ags, as you mentioned. Going for that little spinner snare, which can be useful. They don't manage to catch out Ken. I don't know if they would have had enough damage, and now Lucify is in the area as well.
He won't go for the Fisher. Won't bother. I think Ken just wants to pick up the Axe before he gets going. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Yoe, he's in big trouble. He'll try to Tornado, but it's not going to help. Heavenly Grace Guard Ninja is there. Yoe still running. Sunstrike is there as well. JG still going to chase him down. Yoe trying to survive, can't make it out. Maybe they find the Batrider at least, or maybe not. JG's fine to back out. That's your mid-invoker going down once again here for Yoe. Now, 4 to, I believe, 13. 5k advantage for the dire end of things. The farm continues for these dire cores, and, well, TNC, I suppose at least they're buying time for Krish.
Yeah, he's still getting the build-up he needs. They've also managed to just isolate Ken up top, so Bach also has some room to farm into this Ags, and that should help in cutting off the movement of XERXIA. Someone's going to have to be sacrificed at this point. The Invoker is probably your best bet, as Yo is just going for this sort of mid-game utility sort of build, not really going for the all-in sort of Ags rush kind of build. It's no point to it in this game, so you're kind of all right with that.
Bok, be careful, sir. JG doesn't have lasso anyway. Going to be kind of hard to catch out the Broodmother, but they are still chasing. Mavis will be there with the Heavenly Grace to try and make sure that the Spider is going to be just fine. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Krish, oh, he's a big target. They cannot afford to lose the TA like this. Chase is on Mavis. He's going to be there to save the day. In fact, now the turnaround. Rupido, T-Heat, going to be targeted, but they want the DP. Yule Scepter going to juke out the rebound. Rupido, can he survive? It's going to be a lot of damage, and they do take him down. TNC looking to fight back in this game 1. JG, he shows up on the Batrider, is not going to be able to help, though. That's a massive pick-off for TNC.
And they're finding punishment. XERXIA is just maybe getting a little bit overconfident, diving fairly deep into the jungle. They do have vision control there, so that's where the confidence is coming from, but it's not quite enough. They managed to get a good save, get a good kill on Krish. The Desolator not too far off. That's going to be a key timing for him. Probably going to want the BKB as well. And once you are at that point, the TA should be a lot more secure. Still, lots of the map still being cut off by XERXIA. Lead drops down to 4k, but you are still in control of this game. I think you are a bit concerned with how much Krish and Bach are allowed to kind of keep up, and you might try again.
Yeah, T-Heat, not that tanky yet, but is still running. Rupido going to show up once again. Well, aim down Mavis, but he's a tanky boy on that Omni Knight. Slowly just backing his way out as now Tornado EMP is out from Yoe. Rupido is going to show up once again, but JG's the target and he's gone on that mid Batrider. And now with the Guardian Angel, they turn around once again. Oh, what are they doing? They're diving way too deep. John, the lead they had.
Yeah, it's dropping 5K to 3K. You know, this is so interesting to me because TNC and the DPC had much better laning and much worse mid to late game. It looks like XERXIA is reminding me of TNC. Like in that Tour 3 Div 2, right? They'd have this amazing laning start, then the mid to late game decisions are weird, to say the least. Maybe a bit optimistic is the more positive way to say it. Very optimistic movement out, giving openings for TNC to come back, and they're still not out of the dire straits yet. It's still a 3K lead, but most of that is on support gold. Like the core to core, Krish is almost matching Ken with an 800 gold, not too bad, ahead of Rupido now. Bok, Yoe, equal distribution above JG's Batrider, who has slowed down massively. XERXIA though, gonna gun for a smoke. They've got that Ags up on Ken.
I've had it for a while now. Ken's been just free farming this whole time. Top of the net worth board right now on the Slark is TNC Predator doing a good job of avoiding the side of XERXIA. Radiant Triangle is not going to be occupied by anyone from TNC, so just nice game sense here to back their way out, go to the other side of the map, farm up the other side of the Radiant Jungle instead here for TNC.
Top tower is under attack.
You do have Bok top lane, but he's the broodmother. He's not going to be that easy to catch out. We've seen it recently in a very, very slippery little spider as they do show up a little bit here, XERXIA, but not really much they can do. And Bok's actually done a pretty good job of just chipping away at that top tier 2 tower. He's just doing broodmother things right now. Speaking of, Ken, he's going to be able to jump in. But again, Bok, well, there's a second pounce flying out. He's still relatively healthy, but JG's rushing in here on the Batrider. Bok, another pounce out. He's just copping it left, right, and center, and eventually he is going to drop. They will find him eventually. It just takes a little bit of persistence.
They instantly TP down bot to try to settle this bit of a shove in from XERXIA. Bok does stall pretty long. It takes him 3 pounces to dial though.
He's a brave man, Ken. He's going to back out. I mean, with the double pounce, he doesn't really care. Meanwhile, Lucifer is going to get caught. Carlo's in, but the Echo Slam is committed. Lucifer, he is fine. Carlo is not. Ken, can he actually man up? With the Shadow Dance, it looks like he's going to be just fine. In fact, JG's coming in from the side to try and find somebody else with the lasso. He's going to give up on it. Meanwhile, Tihi and Rupido, they've started Roshan on their own. They've got the Skellies, John.
That they do, although they don't last too long without anyone to tank for them. With Witty Exorcism up, this is a full-on Halloween party in the Roche Pit. Doesn't take them too long to figure that out. Of course, you do have the movement out from XERXIA to secure. No vision out from TNC here. So freebie coming out for XERXIA, it should be. And even if they had vision, I don't know if you can team fight. Your lineup's made for skirmishing here on TNC's end. So nice Roshan going to Ken. He's already nearly impossible to kill here with how mobile he is with the pounces and with the lack of control out from TNC. TNC, they do smoke up right before the Roche pops. See if they can find some punishment.
Here we go. JG, he's there. Lasso is out onto the broodmother. This could be bait though, because TNC are right behind us. Carlo gonna jump in, and that's a great dispose out. Oh, what a save on Bok. Ken, he's still manning up. Guardian Angel is there. Ken looking to back off, but he gets rooted. He got rooted in place there for a moment. The spinner's web, he gets taken out. Aegis is down. He's got another life though. He's fine for now. Carlo, in trouble, is going to be okay thanks to the heavenly grace of Mavis. They got the Aegis and suddenly TNC. They look like they're kind of stealing the lead away here. The TA John Krish, top of the net worth board, looking very happy. And suddenly XERXIA, I mean, they're the ones that are seemingly struggling in this game.
Yeah, they have a massive issue with just dealing with Mavis. Heavenly Grace is massive. It's a counter towards Batrider. You've got great healing coming out. Guardian Angel ruins Slark's time in the middle of these fights. You could keep hitting and try to build up some Agi stacks, but just aren't going to be doing damage, and that just makes TNC very comfy with forcing these fights against that physical core. They still have a 5k lead. For the most part, TNC hasn't been able to find objectives off the back of those kills yet. But they are keeping themselves in the game. Now, you do at least have this early BKB pickup on Rupido, which should help, although.
In mid lane, Carlo. We chase down,
Oh.
Echo committed. Lucifer not wasting any time. Carlo still alive, is going to drop to Ken. That'll be one down. In goes JG with the flame break, trying to chase down Mavis.
Radiant's bottom
Mavis?
tower is under attack.
Gonna get fissured up. Eventually should drop. Ken, he's got plenty of damage here on this Slark still. 6-0-4 now is the scoreline for Ken.
Radiant structure.
Almost onto the Eye of Skadi already, and well, it looks like they're planning to just give it back the way of TNC. Now a 6k net worth advantage for the Dire. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Teehee. He's a tanky boy, but not tanky enough this time around because Krish does have the Desolator.
Yeah, had it for a while. 8 charges up now on that TA. Went for the Dragonlance, doesn't finish up the Hurricane Pike. So maybe just relying on his teammates for staff to save him from the pounces of Ken. But is starting to build up. Once you have this BKB on the TA, you start to feel a lot better in the middle of these fights. And again, TNC, despite being 6k behind, and this was a miserable early game for them, they're holding out well enough. Going for another smoke play here.
JG, maybe got spotted there for a moment. He'll go for the Firefly. Looks like they have found Bok on the Broodmother. Bok still going to walk away. Lasso, oh, Heavenly Grace right as the lasso came in. JG completely wastes the ultimate now as they do try and move it onto Carlo, but the Guardian Angel's there. Rupido, he's going to be careful. Carlo's gone. A great Fisher, however, locking onto 4. Is it going to matter? Rupido, he'll just keep going, but Krish is going to man up, take him out. That'll be 1. In the meantime, Ken, he does end up finding Bok, so it's a 2-for-1 trade in the favor of XERXIA's Lucifer. Is there a Fisher? Yoe gonna make it out. Lucifer, he's not gonna see him in time. Instead, they'll find Mavis though. Ken should be able to pick up another. In fact, JG's the one to take the kill. So another 1 team fight for the Dire side. A 3-for-1 trade. But you are seeing TNC show signs of brilliance here in this game 1.
Yeah, they're starting to at least get some things done. Krish has to be careful here, though.
Yeah, he does. Nice blink out there, Krish. Oh, never mind. Ken, he's got an even better pounce out. Back in onto the TA. Krish will try to run. Shadow Dance and the Fisher. Yeah, I agree with Rupido on that one. That is not very nice. As bottom lane, they even found JG. At least there's a trade across the map.
Yeah, it's something. You're still much better off on XERXIA to kill off, and they might find more here.
Yeah, Carlo disposes there. Not going to help his cause. He'll go down and Yoe. Well, he'll be able to back Ken. Out of pounce range now to try and go after that Invoker. With that, I mean, you may as well start in this bottom T2 tower if you're XERXIA. Like, you've got the Eye of Skadi up now on the Slark. You're looking rather huge on this Slark at the moment, and it looks like TNC Predator going to have a few issues trying to deal with this man, as Yoe going to be very... Oh, Yoe showing on the creep wave. Pounces out. Fish is there. Echo Slap committed. They are not going to waste any time. He had the BKB, but he just never had a chance.
Yeah, Lucifer just on point with that fissure straight into the slam onto Yoa, just not giving that window open. Ken just finds cleanup. 8k lead up for XERXIA. TNC, despite a little bit more back and forth, are still on back row.
Oh, what a pounce. What a pounce from Ken. That was completely blind. Ken. Go on, let's see you do it again, Ken. Oh, he does do it again. Right in a straight line. He's got another. Ken. Making it look so easy. The Fisher is there, Carlo. He'll get knocked back. He'll try to fight back, but it's not going to happen. Ken's on a godlike spree. 10-0-7. 17 permanent agility, John. He's almost got 2 blades of alacrity for free.
Yeah, and he gets way too durable in the middle of these team fights. He gets 37 armor from all these stacks of Essence Shift. The damage coming out from Krish just isn't there. They have to take care of that Slark early on.
The Mavis. Oh, what a Fisher. Locking down a couple more.
Oh, no.
At least Yoe's going to be fine. Lasso's there. Krish, he is set to die and will. No buyback as the pounce back onto Yoe. Ken's not done. Yoe, he'll BKB. Try to survive through it. But they're onto the tier 3 bottom tower. How do you stop this?
It's tough to say. You don't have much team fight lined up here from TNC outside of just this combination of Marcy and Invoker. They do manage to stall out with a Fortify at least. Exorcism is going to be fading, so XERXIA doesn't have the smoothest ride onto the high ground, but they've got so much riding on Ken. He's going to have Depth Shroud soon, and all.
Yeah, Yoe at least has the 4-star. He's going to be okay this time around. Voice lines immediate from Yoe. Mid-tier 2 tower is going to drop. If you're XERXIA, you're still finding pretty much everything you can ask for. Speaking of everything you can ask for, there's a double damage rune up the top rune spot. They'll leave a bottle there for Ken to pick that one up. No Roshan, but it won't matter. And with the damage Ken's got right now, I believe with the double damage, he'll be doing about 600 per right click. Which is only set to go up as Bok is about to experience. Ken, how manly are you, sir? There's 3 heroes there. He's pretty manly, John. He'll jump in by himself. He doesn't care. He'll force out the Guardian Angel, but Rupido in trouble. We'll go for the Yule Scepter. Try to survive. Buy some time as Ken. Right back in, takes down Carlo. Look at that damage, Jonathan. Ken. He's hurting. It's not very fun to go up against his Slark right now.
It certainly is not. XERXIA have this massive lead. TNC, again, they had a little bit of a second wind, but they never addressed Ken until it was a little bit too late. Now they've got to play the high ground game, try to stall off as best as they can. They still need way more items to come out on Krish. 3k behind Ken now in that word. Yoe at least has his BKB, but you've seen it used once. The other times just kind of not there. And
Ken. Oh, the pounce is just off the... Oh, he's not going to see Krish! Very close from Ken. He's been very on point with these pounces, just a couple frames off. Ken, I mean, he's not going to be mad. He's got 12 kills, Jonathan. He hasn't died once yet on this Slark.
Yeah, 19 permanent Agi. He's pretty much got that double Blades of Alacrity that you mentioned there, Mike. And there's really not much to stop him. Unless you can just perfectly catch him out. It's impossible. Like, you need to catch him with literally 0 Essence Shift stacks up, because otherwise he has like 20 plus armor. The TA just can't melt him down. No one else really has burst damage to deal with Ken. And it's just too much. Like, there's so much durability now on XERXIA. You've got the full Lotus Orb on Rupido. He's got some armor to play with. Slark just naturally has 20 armor on hand with all of the permanent Agi he has. It's very hard for Krish to carry through here. To find that verse is nearly impossible.
Sure feels that way, as we are going to have a pause for them to have a think about what they are going to do. Pause was, yeah, go. It looks like we're ready to go once again. Krish just needed a breather for that moment. Inhale some oxygen. It's Krish going to jump in, and they found him. Heavenly Grace is going to save for now, but Mavis could be in danger as the Fisher. Going to lock him down. Ken finds one. Yoe gets pounced on immediately. We'll be out of 4 staff away. High ground again is going to be open. Ken, he'll move up. Pounce in. He found Yoe another time. Chaos Meteor, Deafening Blast, everything being thrown out, but the Fisher gonna lock down 3 of them. Yoe, he's popped the BKB, but he's gone. Carlo, he's not gonna be safe. He's gonna die as well. A double. Can we make it a triple? Yeah, of course we can. Ken, he'll have the hand up. It might just be time to call it. They'll buy back. They'll try one last time, but it's a 3v5 situation. At least XERXIA, they are rather low in HP. Thing is, John, I don't think they really care. But they will back off and pay their respects.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Roshan's up in about 12 seconds now. They take out at least 1 full set of racks. They're going to be very satisfied with themselves here. 22k lead, 11 to 32. TNC, I mean, it feels like they're running out of options here, Mike. Like, their only place to catch one hero out, burst them down with the TA, and kind of rinse and repeat until you get more items up for damage. Because in a prolonged fight, you just do not have damage. As mentioned, XERXIA into the Roshan, another double damage rune spawning up for them, of course. And you have the full butterfly up on Ken. I mean, even if the TA focuses him down, it can't even touch him. And again, he has so much armor from all of this Agi, it's kind of ridiculous.
It certainly is. Oh, and a double damage rune. Look at that, John. Well, of course you're going to get one. You just finished Roshan. But how else are you going to take the fight without a double damage?
Yeah, it was... They save it for after the Roche. They've got more damage coming out on Ken. And again, there's very little play left for TNC. You've got the 8 relents up on JG, gonna be easier for him to land the lasso. You still have the save coming out from Mavis, but they just have no way of starting these fights on their own terms on TNC. Again, all they have is really just rebound plus maybe tornado EMP, which are all nice, but it only really holds 1, maybe 2. It's difficult to find more hold, difficult to get that damage. All these fights last a fairly long time because you've got Omni Knight as well on TNC, and that just favors XERXIA as the fights drag on. They're trying to retake their triangle here.
Silence out. Root is there. They've at least found the edge, but they can't really make the jump in. Rupido, however, he certainly can, but Carlo is going to try and fight back, but Ken, here he comes with that double damage, is going to force out the Guardian Angel. Lasso is out. They've got Bok on the Brood Mother. He's trapped up all by himself and will eventually drop. At the very least, I believe they did purge off the double damage with the Tornado of Yoez, so there's that. Won't matter, though. They still lose Bok. Luckily, the Brood Mother does have buyback, so you will have him available for the high ground defense. Is that going to make a difference? I don't know. We'll find out soon.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, one more set of racks, exorcists him out, buyback flies through.
There you go. Ken, silenced up for a moment, still fine. They continue to root them in place with that spinner's snare is what I was meant to say, Jonathan. Rupido. Still going onto that tier 3 tower, taking his sweet, sweet time. Ken, jump in, pounce a little bit off the mark there. He won't go for a second yet. In fact, never mind. He will. Onto Bok. Heavenly Grace, not going to help him out too much, but Bok still running is going to be okay. He doesn't want to die a second time right now. They are just slowly chipping away at the HP pools of XERXIA. Keep in mind, you've still got the Aegis available on Ken as well as the Butterfly, so it's not going to be very easy to take down the Slark. They will find the top lane of Barracks for now. They'll head down bot, looking for the Megas. Ken, he'll get started on the tier 3 tower. 16-0-8 is the scoreline of Ken. Still unkilled this game. TNC, they've got to find a way to defend this. This is their last lane of Barracks. I mean, they do have the range racks top lane, but that's going down as we speak. They're going to make the jump in. Yoez there. Tornado. It's only on to the edge. Rupido, he'll hand the tip over. So will Ken. Everyone's tipping Yoe here. Not very nice whatsoever to poor old Invoker. Meanwhile, Krish, he's setting up for a meld strike, it seems. I mean, he's going to get something done. Ken, not going to take too much damage. We'll jump in. Lasso is out. They've got Bok on the Brood Mother. Drag him all the way back, and Bok, that'll be a dieback. 4v5 scenario for TNC. It's Ken onto the bot racks, looking for the Megas. We'll chip away. Rebound. Oh, it's way off the mark from Carlo. Carlo's gone as well now. No buyback available. Tips out onto Ken, who's still just unkilled. Going for more. Krish, he's trying. Krish, he is trying to carry this game 1v9 almost, John. Let's be frank. He's going to go down. No buyback. No GG call either, sadly, from TNC yet. The torture has not ended. Yoe, he's going to try to slow this down, but the pounce is out. Ken's hitting way too hard. The fountain dives. Let it end. Let the torture end. They're going to fountain dive them. GG's called. Oh, that's rough. TNC Predator. John, I'm going to be honest. I kind of want to see these boys go on a bit of a run here in the qualifiers, but, well, they are going to be taken out very early on. Lower bracket round of 1. It is a best of 1 series, and they are gone. And you are going to see the very happy faces of XERXIA as they will be able to make it through this best of 1. And they'll feel a lot safer now having these best of 3 series throughout the lower bracket. Happy days.
And we've still got tough opponents lined up for them for TNC. It's the end of the road. I mean, TNC, it's a storied org. They've been to so many TIs. They didn't get their shot.